going on, guys? Welcome back to the Boys Are Back in Town podcast. My name is Dustin. I'm here with my co-host.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Brett.
So if you guys are new around here, the way we like to kick things off, we go through our starts and sits. Then this week, we kind of got a special Thanksgiving plays with our props and stuff like that with 3 side dishes and a main course. And then Brett's got some desserts he's bringing up, so we're going to have a little bit of fun with that. Then we jump into our plays of the week. And then we hit our game picks. So, yeah, you want to start with our starts and sits?
Yeah, my first start is Dak Prescott. The Commanders are allowing the most fantasy points per game to quarterbacks, and Dak has averaged 20 fantasy points per game on Thanksgiving in his career. I don't know why I decided to look that up, but I did, and went back and did some math, but did it. Since Week 6, Dak is QB1 fantasy-wise, and he already had his bye in Week 7. So, also since Week 6, Dak is averaging 27.5 fantasy points per game.
Yeah, dude. I mean, yeah, that's pretty nasty. I think Dak is one of the better quarterbacks that he just always shows up on Thanksgiving Day. I know about it. Last year, showed up, spanked our good Giants team, I thought anyway at the time, all the way back down to mediocrity. So, yeah. And yeah, the Commanders, I don't think they're a very good football team. Old Tommy DeVito absolutely torched them last week. So yeah, Dak's going to put on a show. My start is going to be a guy that you said to sit last week, and he absolutely had a bomb week. So I'm going to go ahead and show him some love in my starts. We got Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence is playing against Houston. Houston is allowing, it was like 17.9 fantasy points per game to quarterbacks. Also, Trevor Lawrence coming off a really hot week where he got involved in the rush game. He had 262 yards with 2 touchdowns through the air and then 2 touchdowns on his feet. So I think he keeps the heat train going.
Yeah, I didn't think Trevor Lawrence had that rushing ability in him, and I think they'll start showing that a lot more because it just really felt like this offense was getting stale. And I think it was the week before that they lost to the 49ers like 38-3. So they had to do something. They didn't score a touchdown. They had to do something, and Trevor Lawrence running may have helped bump that up.
Yep. Dual threats always help.
My next start is Jerome Ford. Broncos are allowing the most fantasy points per game to running backs at 28.8 points, and they just allowed 175 yards rushing to the Vikings. Ford has also had 13 targets over the last 3 weeks, and he is the number 1 snap share at running back in this Browns offense. And he also had 75% of the red zone rushes last week. So anybody who was nervous about the pass game role with Kareem Hunt or the red zone role with Kareem Hunt, it seems like Ford is also taking that over. So either way, I think Ford and Hunt are good starts, but Ford definitely is the RB1 in this offense.
Yeah, I don't think anybody should be worried about the passing game through the Browns. The starter is going to be DTR, Dorian Thompson. What is his last one?
Robinson.
So Dorian Thompson-Robinson's touchdown to interception ratio as couple games as a starter is 0 touchdowns and 4 interceptions. It's not a great look. It's not going to be pretty. And the Browns are going to get it done. I think they're going to get it done, but it's going to be on the ground.
Yep. My
start is going to be Zach Charbonnet. With Kenneth Walker down, I think that this guy is just going to be the way to go. It seemed like he got into the passing game. He caught 6 balls on 6 targets or 7 targets or something like that. It wasn't for a crazy amount of yardage. It was only for like 22 yards. But anytime a running back is involved in the passing game, especially in PPR leagues, that's just something you got to look out for.
Yeah, no, I like Charbonnet a lot this week. 49ers do have a tough run defense, but no Kenneth Walker. I really think he's a good play.
Yeah.
My next start is going to be Demario Douglas. The Giants are allowing the 5th most fantasy points per game to wide receivers at 33 points to the groups. He has 29 targets over the last 4 weeks, and that triples anyone else on the team. This Giants pass rush is the real deal and won't give Mac or Zappy, whoever's going to start, much time to throw. And I'm assuming they will probably dial up plenty of short routes and screens to Douglas coming off their bye week last week.
Yeah, I'm not sure how much Demario Douglas's role is going to be affected by Devontae Parker coming back. I still think he holds on to his wide receiver one role, but if he does get to run out of the slot, I think that opens up more because the Giants out just protecting the slot don't do very well. So yeah, I think Douglas is going to be a good start. I wanted to take him as a start this week, but decided to go with Justin Watson. Justin Watson had 11 targets against a very good Eagles defense last week. So I think against the Raiders, Justin Watson is going to get it done. I think the Chiefs are going to find a way to dial up something, especially getting it going through the receivers. In the second half, the Chiefs have not scored a touchdown in 3 weeks. So, yeah, they're probably going to dial up some deep shots and really just bully this Raiders team.
Yeah, I like Justin Watson. No telling what his role is going to be. But playing a bad Raiders defense, I don't see why they don't throw him out there a little more often and just see what can happen.
Well, 11 targets made me think Mahomes kind of trusts the guy more than anyone else.
Yeah, he just trusts him more than the rest of the guys. He's been throwing to him for a long time. It's always been that third or fourth receiver, I think. I don't know how long he's been on the team, but it feels like a little while.
Couple of years. Yeah.
But my next start, picking on the Broncos again, David Njoku. Denver's allowed the most fantasy points to tight ends this year. And since week 4, Njoku has had less than 10 fantasy points only once. And 10 fantasy points for a tight end is pretty decent. And in the 2 games that DTR started at QB, Njoku has 22 targets. So that is clearly his favorite target. And if you look at Njoku's stats over the year, they're actually pretty decent. Like a slow start in the beginning of the year, but from there on out, he's looked pretty good with a carousel of quarterbacks of Deshaun Watson, PJ Walker, and DTR.
Yeah, I'm hoping DTR can get it done for you. Hopefully he evens out that touchdown interception ratio a little bit. Might help him out.
Oh, hell, you don't need a touchdown. All you need is that 15 targets again like last week and get 6 catches for 60 yards, and that's good enough.
Yeah, that's good enough. That's doable for a tight end.
Absolutely.
This week, I see a breakout game for this cat. I like Cade Otton against Indianapolis. So Cade Otton hasn't shown great weeks. He's been averaging about 8 fantasy points. But whenever he finds the end zone, it seems like he always finds that. He had a couple weeks ago, had 22 points because he found the end zone twice. I can see that happening again. I think that was against Houston. But he gets averages 6 targets a game, and that's pretty good for a tight end, especially for someone as low owned as Cade Otton. I love him. I have him on my bench, and I think he's a good start.
No, I do like Cade Otton, and he's really been coming on here recently. And who are the Bucks playing?
Indy. Yep.
Yeah, the Colts do allow the 7th most fantasy points to tight ends. So, I mean, that could be a really good start, I think.
Could be good for Cade Otton owners. He's definitely going to be a sneaky one for you DFS players. Going to be cheap.
I do like Cade Otton in DFS this week.
Yep.
That's all my starts.
Sits?
Yeah, sits. My first sit, Jared Goff. Packers are the 6th worst matchup for quarterbacks and only allowing 14.3 fantasy points per game. Last week, Goff threw 3 picks, and I think that's not normal for him. But either way, he could play really timid this week, and they could lean on this double-headed monster backfield with Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery. And Goff has only scored more than 20 fantasy points in 4 out of the 10 games this year. So just not great at all for fantasy.
That's kind of wild considering how good the Lions' offense has been, but I guess it kind of gets dialed up through the run game. So, yeah,
good,
I can
and
see
good,
that.
Decent defense as well.
So I know a lot of people are probably thinking off a hot week, and then it might be obvious to bench Russell Wilson this week, but that is going to be my sit. If you have to start him, try and find someone else. There are going to be a lot of guys on the waivers. Russell Wilson is going to get shut down. He's playing the Browns. We discussed this matchup a little bit, but the Browns' defense is the best in the league. They're in yards allowed, they're about 600 yards better than anybody else in the league. I think they've only allowed 3,200 yards this year. So, yeah, it's going to be a rough day for the Broncos to get anything going on offense.
Yeah, no, for sure, yeah. the Broncos are not going to have a good day. My next sit, A.J. Dillon. No Aaron Jones. I don't know how long, but the Lions have the 5th best run defense when it comes to fantasy points per game. And last week, Jaden Reed had 3 carries for 46 yards and a touchdown. And I think with Aaron Jones out, like I said, they could draw up more jet sweeps and screens for Reed so they don't have to rely on A.J. Dillon, who has been stupid, inefficient, and bad. And he has scored more than 10 fantasy points in only 4 games this year. And he has led in snap share in all but 2 games. Only 2 games this year, Aaron Jones has had a higher snap share than A.J. Dillon. And A.J. Dillon has still only had 10 fantasy points in 4 games.
Yeah, I know that there's a little cult that just loves A.J. Dillon. I don't even think that a lot of them are Packers fans, but he's just not the guy. I don't think he's a very good running back. I'm not a big Aaron Jones believer either, but A.J. Dillon is definitely the worst back in that backfield. So, yeah. This week, coming off a hot week, I think this is going to be a pretty hot take, but I'm sitting James Cook. He's playing Philly, which allows the least amount of fantasy points to running backs in all of the league. I can just see the Bills trying to play catch up this entire game. I want the Bills to win, don't get me wrong, but I don't see them doing it on the ground with James Cook.
Yeah, no, definitely Eagles' best team against the run.
Yeah.
They did just allow Pacheco to look pretty good, but that is Pacheco.
Didn't find the end zone.
Yeah, Pacheco runs freaking hard.
Yeah.
They only allow
James Cook.
11.9 fantasy points per game to running back rooms, so that's not a lot of room for James Cook and then whoever those early down grinders end up being. So I do like that sit. Didn't even think about that sit, honestly.
Yeah, that one came across me. I was like, hey, I got to put it down.
Yeah, no, for sure. My next sit, a little controversial, but Jalen Waddle. Jets are the best team against wide receivers, only allowing 17.8 fantasy points per game to the whole wide receiver room. So if Tyreek Hill averages 20 fantasy points per game this year, that's 17.8 the Jets only allow. So that leaves negative points for Jalen Waddle. And I don't think they're going to stop them to 17.8 fantasy points per game, or 17.8 fantasy points. But this could be a lower scoring game. We have seen the Dolphins tend to score less against really tough defenses. And Waddle has scored less than 10 fantasy points in both of his last 2 games. And I think he will continue this lackluster fantasy season. And he hasn't had a terrible season, but for being drafted high in the 3rd round of fantasy drafts, it's been pretty rough.
Yeah, I'm definitely glad I sold on Jalen Waddle when I did. I feel like I got the best value out of him.
Yeah.
So I'm not mad he's having a bad season. I'm not glad either, but, it is what it is. So my sit is kind of going to be a double-headed monster here. It's either going to be Tyler Boyd if T. Higgins isn't playing, and then if T. Higgins is playing, it's T. Higgins. So I don't like either of these guys versus the Steelers. Even if, if Tyler Boyd and T. Higgins both end up playing, it's just T. Higgins that's getting the sit because obviously you're not going to start Tyler Boyd anyway. Yeah. But I don't like Jake Browning. I think he's going to be a major cause as a Jamar Chase owner. I think he's going to cause me some pain this week, getting my number 1 overall wide receiver, not getting the ball every single play. So we'll see how it goes, but nobody but Jamar Chase or Joe Mixon is going to be efficient in that offense.
Yeah, probably not. Steelers, they are pretty middle of the pack against wide receivers.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I don't know. Backup quarterback, it just never works out well.
Yeah, I'm not enjoying it. So
yeah. Either way, my next sit, Michael Mayer.
No way, me too.
Yeah, well, so the last 2 weeks, he's had pretty decent weeks, like for a tight end. But the Chiefs are the 4th toughest opponent for fantasy points per game to tight ends, only allowing 6.6 points per game. So, like I said,
they
don't be
practiced
fooled.
against Travis Kelce.
Yeah, don't be fooled by 2 decently productive weeks in a row. O'Connell is not it. He threw the ball 41 times last week, and only 5 of those targets went to Mayer. So that's bad. Because there's no one else there other than Devontae and Jacoby, and then the running backs. And in the 4 games O'Connell has started this year, Mayer only has 12 targets. So O'Connell doesn't like him, so I say fuck him too.
Yeah, leave him on the bench. Yeah. Since you decided to steal my sit, I'm going to go ahead and get you with a bonus start. Start the Giants defense against the Patriots. The Patriots are allowing the second most points in opposing teams' defenses. Just seen that matchup roll across my desk, and I had to share it with you.
This is the greatest thing that's come across.
This is the next big thing.
Yeah, no.
You have 30 seconds. I'd like to share this idea with you.
I have filled out a couple DFS lineups already, and the Giants are cheap, and they are set up for a good day. So grab those Giants in DFS, or if they're on the waiver and you're trying to start a mediocre defense, grab the Giants. They'll be a decent start for a week or two.
Mediocre?
But yeah.
What games are we watching?
That's all for starts and sits today. Let's get into our Thanksgiving meal.
Let's go. Mm-hmm. You go ahead and start. What do you got for the mashed potatoes? The sweet potatoes? Got a little green bean casserole prop going?
Don't forget about the ham and the turkey, the main entree.
We're starting with main entrees?
Yeah, main entree.
Okay. Give me the ham. I got the turkey.
Cowboys Commanders over 49 points. Both teams have hit this in 3 of the last 4 games. So I don't know. The Cowboys could score 49 by themselves, but like against the Giants, put in the backup defense, backups, and Giants scored twice. So that could bump up the numbers if the Cowboys do end up only scoring 35, 38 points. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, I definitely like that over. I knew you were going to hit that over, so I did not go with it. I went with another over, and I actually think this is better value. So we got the Niners and the Seahawks. I'm taking that over 44 at minus 112. They're in prime time, which is a bit scary. The over has not hit in prime time very often this season. But it's the Niners, and I really like the Niners offense. The last time the Niners were on prime time, I think they played you guys. You want to...
Yeah, that wasn't
good. I think they played somebody else, and then Brock Purdy got his concussion. But whenever they did play the Cowboys, I think they did score 40 by themselves. So It was, I think 44 is a lock. That's probably the best value on the overs, other than the Cowboys and Commanders.
Yeah.
I think that's an easy one. So, that's my main course.
I considered going back and forth on the over on the Green Bay Lions game, but honestly, that could turn into a 17-14 game just as easy.
That could be a divisional game. Yep.
So I stayed away from it as that 11:30 game. But anyway, my first side dish. Let's go with the mashed potatoes, the number one side dish.
Heard.
DK Metcalf over 57.5 receiving yards. He has hit that in 4 of the last 5 games, and they're playing the 49ers, who just lost their corner. He's got a weird name. Whatever his name is, but just lost that really good corner.
Yeah. Oh, Hufanga,
yeah.
He's a safety.
Yeah, tore his ACL.
They lost Hufanga at the safety, yep. Yeah, that's going to look good for DK for sure. Yep. So my sides, they're all in a pairing. It is a 33% boost on DraftKings if you pick 3 touchdown scorers. So I'm going to go ahead and hit it with the 3 quick little sides. I'll let you get the main sides, but we got the cranberry sauce, the gravy, and the rolls. My first one, we got Amon-Ra St. Brown touchdown. We got Jake Ferguson touchdown. Yeah. And then we got Deebo Samuel touchdown. Those all parlayed with the 33% boost is plus 1230, meaning $10 wins 133. Give me that. Munchies all day long.
Yeah. My second side, since you took my favorite with the rolls, we're going to go with green bean casserole. Another good side. Brandon Cooks over 35.5 receiving yards. Like we talked about earlier, Washington's bad. And he's hit this in 4 of the last 5 games. So I don't see why he couldn't do it again.
Yeah, no, definitely. I seen that on your little list, and I did like it a lot. I also considered taking Brandon Cooks anytime touchdown, but I faded it just this once.
You
but
never know.
I like it.
You never know.
No, you do not.
Side number 3. So we got the mashed potatoes and I got just the mashed potatoes. Green bean casserole. So let's go with some
sweet potatoes, with the marshmallows on top.
Yes. Yeah. Some of that in my fridge right now.
Yes, sir.
David Montgomery over 66.5 rushing yards. Now, I understand it's a double-headed backfield, but listen to this. In all of David Montgomery's healthy games, so we're taking out the games he did not play and the game he got hurt in the beginning of the game and Gibbs took over, he's hit this.
Yeah, he's been a monster.
Yeah, like 7 of them.
The thing is that line he could hit in one play. He just does that. It's a weird thing. He did it in Chicago. That's why I'm always been a big Monty guy. I love it. If that's all your sides, I actually got a quick little bonus pumpkin pie to throw down here.
Well, I do have 2 desserts.
Oh, I know. That's why I decided to go and find one for me.
All right. Let's hear your dessert first.
Jordan Love,
my pumpkin pie.
Over 231.5 passing yards at -115. I think that's a lock.
Jordan
Love's been dialing it up lately.
He has looked
I think
good.
The Packers offense has been figuring it out through the passing game. Jordan Love over 230.5. 231.5. Yes, sir. Give me that pumpkin pie.
Yeah, the Lions are allowing the 6th most fantasy points per game to quarterbacks, so I could see that turning into yards pretty easily. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
My first dessert, we're going to go with the chocolate pie.
Ooh.
David Montgomery, anytime touchdown. He has scored in all of his healthy games this year.
That is a pretty good stat for the Monty touchdown score. I like that.
Yep, and then dessert number 2, since you took pumpkin pie, we're just going to go with some chocolate chip cookies because those are fantastic. Going with your running back start, Zach Charbonnet, anytime touchdown. No Kenneth Walker, and the 49ers have allowed 2 of the last 3 running backs they've played against to score.
Yeah, I would even go out on a limb and say it's going to be a passing touchdown, too. It's going to be a little receiving touchdown for Charbonnet. But, yeah, anytime touchdown for that cat, I hope so. It'll make me look good for that start.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking as well.
Well, since we did have a clash at Play of the Week, we did think the same mind because it is the easiest lock of the week. Give me the New York Giants at +150. We're playing the Patriots at MetLife. Yeah, it's going to happen.
Yeah, since we ended up having the same play of the week, I went ahead and pivoted to something that I like just as much, actually, and that's Tampa Bay +120 against the Colts.
Shout out, Cody.
Yeah, I really don't understand where people are thinking the Colts are great. I mean, I understand they have a pretty decent record, but this Bucs team is pretty good.
I'm not understanding where people are thinking the Bucs are bad. They are not getting respect in any of the spreads either. It's been weird. Like last week, the spread was big because they're playing the 49ers, but being 2.5-point dogs to the Colts, man, come on, put some respect on the Bucs defense at least. Like that's crazy. But yeah, no, I love that money line. That's definitely going to be a noon o'clock juicer. It's going to be added in there.
Noon o'clock juicer.
Yes, sir.
All right, you ready to get in some game picks?
Yeah, you want to recap our game picks?
All right, so last week, week 11, I went 10-4. Thanks to the Vikings and Seahawks and Chargers all throwing, and Steelers.
Sure. Yeah, not good looks.
You went 7-7, staying 50 or staying 500. Leaves me at 105 and 59, and you 82 and 82. So you, like we say every week, you got some catching up to do. So let's get it.
Yes,
keep her going. First
Start with
game.
these Thanksgiving games.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Got a game tomorrow.
I am going Lions here. So
yeah, easily. Yeah, give me the Lions over the Packers. I don't like any of the over-unders, like you said. Kind of a game where you don't know what's going to happen, if it's going to be high scoring or if it's going to be a divisional game where it's 10-7. So,
Yeah.
not a big fan of that one. Next game we got 3:00 Commanders versus the Cowboys.
I mean, yeah, that was pretty obvious. We're gonna go Cowboys.
Yeah, I was more or less. It's going to be the Cowboys, but do you like the 13-point spread?
You know, honestly, I do.
I kind of do. I kind of like it.
Okay, it's either gonna go. We're either gonna win by 13 points on the spread, or we're not gonna win the game.
Yeah,
That's how
honestly.
Dallas is. Yeah, so
That's how the Commanders are.
yeah. So either
yeah,
we're
no, I
gonna
like
blow
that
them
a
out,
lot.
or we're gonna lose. Is how I feel about it.
Well, the Giants covered the 13-point spread against them, so maybe you can too.
All right. So what do we got here?
Next game's Thursday night football. We're gonna have the Niners versus the Seahawks.
And I like the Seahawks this year, but Niners are gonna win that game.
Yeah, I do like the +7 on the Seahawks to keep it close, but go ahead and give me the -7. No, not the -7. The money line on the Niners, and like I said in my main course, give me the over 44.
Over 44.
First ever Black Friday football game, 2 p.m.
Yeah, I'll be working.
All right,
so
if you have not seen that, yeah, no, everybody's working. I don't know what they're really thinking, but we got the Dolphins versus the Jets. I'll still be watching.
I will also try to watch. I do think the Dolphins will win this game.
Yeah, 10-point favorites. Tim Boyle starting for the Jets. I'm not sold. Give me the Dolphins and give me the 10-point spread.
Why couldn't they put this game at night? Like 7?
I don't. People are shopping. I guess if you're worried about that, don't. Like, guys aren't shopping. Guys are watching football. Like, it's cool. It's fine. Whatever, dude.
Weird.
It was weird. Yeah, I'm not too sure who scheduled that at 2, but whatever. It's first Sunday noon game. Yeah, Saints versus Falcons. Divisional matchup. This one's going to be a good one.
Yeah. I think Jameis is going to end up playing this game.
I don't think so. Derek Carr practiced today.
Well, if it's Carr, I like them to win the game better. If it's Winston, I like Olave, A.T. Perry, and Rashid Shaheed better.
Rashid Shaheed, me too.
But I am going to go with the Saints. So, +1. Saints, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, no, I'm taking the Saints as well. I just see that game getting kind of out of Arthur Smith's hands. He's going to get outcoached. He's just, if you aren't going to fucking use your number 1 overall running back like he should be used, I'm going to lose respect for you. That's all I got to say.
Yeah.
Next game, we got the Patriots versus the Giants. I think we're both nailing the Giants here.
Yeah, got to.
Big Blue G-Men, baby. I'm wearing my Giants gear on the cam. Let's go. Next game, Panthers-Titans. This one could be good.
You mean ass?
It could be close. I think it's one of the closer games we got.
Oh, did you see that Patriots-Giants over-under is 33.5?
Yeah.
What the
And
hell?
I could see that hitting. I could see the under hitting.
I could see the under hitting. Well, last week we were talking about like a 34.5 being the lowest we've seen in a long time.
No, it was 33 on the dot, and it was Steelers-Browns, and the under hit.
33.5. God.
Yeah, well, the under hit in that game, but that's Steelers-Browns, so that was
that's a little more odd.
going to be low.
The Giants and the Patriots could both give up big plays.
The Giants dropped 31 last week, so yeah.
Exactly. That's what, yeah. But yeah, Panthers-Titans, 36.5. I'm going to go ahead and take... Let's go Titans, Will Levis. I don't like Bryce Young.
I don't like the Panthers offense at all. It's not that I don't like Bryce Young. It's just their ass. So I'm going to go with the Titans as well. I was hoping you'd take the Panthers so we could be separated on a game. So far we have not been.
Yeah, it's just...
This one we might get separated on, but I doubt it. We got the Steelers versus the Bengals.
Yeah, I'm going Steelers.
Yeah, I don't like Jake Browning. That the +2 point dog on the Bengals is correct. Vegas is right. Don't try and cut the books. You're not going to win that one. The Bengals are not good without Joe Burrow.
Yeah, no, my July picking all of the division winners bet parlay is not looking so hot with the Bengals winning the division.
No.
They were the heavy favorites too, sadly. So yeah, all of my other ones.
The Ravens are walking that one.
Yeah, and I actually told you before the season that the Ravens are going to be good this year.
Yeah,
and
I stuck with them, man.
Yeah, and I did like them, but I still thought the Bengals would win the division.
Oh, well, I mean, now we can jump into your play of the week, which is Bucks versus Colts. I'm riding with you. Give me the Bucks.
Bucks all day.
Shout out Code.
Shout out Codester.
All right, next game, last noon game, we got the Jaguars Texans.
Yeah, I really think the Texans can win this game, but I just feel like the Jaguars kind of half-assed just found their groove, so I'm going to go Jags.
I'm going to do it again to you. Give me C.J. Stroud and the Texans. Trevor Lawrence is my start, but C.J. Stroud just absolutely has the ice in his veins. If they're down a score and they got to walk down, get a touchdown to win it, he's going to do it. That's my MVP candidate as well. Definitely isn't Jalen Hurts. So, yeah, give me C.J. Stroud. Passing yards leader as a rookie. Dog. Love that guy.
He's a dog.
That's my fantasy QB, baby. Next game, we got a stinker. We got the Rams versus the Cardinals.
Yeah, I think this will be a higher scoring game. Definitely would take the over on that game. Defenses really just kind of let them do whatever they want. And that's a hard game to pick. I think Stafford is going to play, but no Kupp, I don't think. Kupp could play, but Puka is also questionable. I'm just going to go ahead and go Rams because I don't see the Cardinals winning yet.
All right, well, I'll get away from you here. I'm going to go Cardinals just because Kyler Murray did come back and looked really good against the Falcons. And I can see them winning this game. I can also see them losing this game by 30. I don't know. I don't like either of these teams right now. They just don't look good. Last week, watching the Rams play against the Seahawks was probably the hardest thing I've ever seen. Like, they just didn't want to win a football game. They got many opportunities to win the game, just couldn't do it. So, yeah, not going to enjoy that one as much.
No.
So, jumping into our next game, we got the Browns versus Broncos. Who you got?
Yeah, super low-scoring game, another shit game, a lot of fantasy aspects. We're going to have to go Broncos, I think. Yeah, I got to go Broncos.
I don't see the Browns winning this one through the air or through DTR, but with their rush game that they got going on and the really great defense, I'm going to go ahead and take the Browns just so we can be separated on this one.
Yeah, that's reasonable for sure.
Bills versus Eagles. I'm going to go ahead and jump you on this one. Give me the Bills just because I'm not going to pick the Eagles once this entire year.
I am taking the Eagles.
Just not going to do it.
I do believe that the Eagles are a top 3 team in the NFL.
Yeah, they're good, but I'm hoping Josh Allen dials up a little special for Jalen Hurts. It's honestly not even Jalen Hurts. I just really cannot stand Nick Sirianni.
Oh, hell.
Can't do it. Sunday,
Still, we got
3:25. Yep. We got Chiefs Raiders. Give me the Chiefs.
Yeah, Chiefs for sure. I don't know about that. Yeah, I'd take the -8.5 too, I'm sure.
No, the Chiefs don't like to win games by a lot. They don't like to win blowout games.
Yeah, it is a scrappy Raiders team. Chiefs could fuck around and lose.
Yeah.
That'd be hilarious.
That would be funny. 2 weeks back-to-back off an MVS drop would be hilarious, dude.
If that plus 285 was a little better, I'd probably hit that.
Honestly, I like the over 42.5 a lot. For the Sunday night football game, that was a weird time to load. We got the Ravens versus Chargers. I actually really like this matchup.
Yeah.
Give me the Ravens, though.
Yeah, honestly, I don't think 3.5 points is enough. I love the Chargers. I do. I thought they were going to have a great season. But with how that team is playing, Justin Herbert looks like he's trying to play by himself, and it's just not good for him. Like, he's trying everything he can. Receivers are dropping balls. They're just really screwing him over. So, yeah, give me the Ravens. Ravens -3.5. I mean, however you want to go about it. Over 48 points, 100%.
Yeah. I definitely think the Ravens -3.5 is definitely a good spread, mainly because the Chargers lose games by one possession. Last week they lost by 3. So yeah, I definitely think that's a fair spread to put on this Chargers team. Because they stay in games, they don't get absolutely blown out. So I don't like the spread, but I do like the money line.
Yeah.
Monday Night Football, this one could be ugly. It's Bears versus Vikings. We do get Justin Fields back, though.
Yeah, Justin Fields looked pretty good last week. I did end up starting him in our league. I still think I would go Vikings.
I'm personally a big fan of the Pastronaut, but I'm going to go ahead and take the Bears. I think Justin Fields comes out and really tries to silence the Caleb Williams cult that is forming around the Bears. I think the Bears, everyone wants them to draft a QB, and I think Justin Fields comes out and says, hey, you still got me.
Yeah, Fields came out last week and said, fuck it, I'll do it myself. Rushed for over 100 yards. And yeah, looked really good. So yeah, I think that'll be good.
Fields is still the guy. I mean, yeah, I definitely, get him back in coming back to Monday Night Football. Last time he played the Commanders, absolutely donkeyed them. So we'll see.
We will see.
So yeah, guys, if you enjoyed, make sure to drop a like. If you're new around here, hit that subscribe button. We're close to 200 subscribers. That'll be a huge milestone for us this season. If you have not yet, go check out our socials at The Boys Do Sports. That is both on X and on TikTok. And yeah, that's all I got.
Yep.
Peace.